Us and spending time with us today. This is, what we look like. So helpful to put a face to the name. Jesse was just speaking, and then I'm over here on the right. I'm the account executive in the marketing automation division here at Fay Business Systems Group. So I'd like to start off a little bit by giving a quick introduction to Fay BSG. We are Acton's #1 consulting partner, most well known in the marketing automation and CRM space. We are also the #1 global sugar CRM partner based in Los Angeles, and we're strategically aligned in every way with marketing automation and CRM. The only platforms we are aligned with are Acton in the MA side and Sugar on the CRM side. And we've got full reach with headquartered in Los Angeles with offices across the country. We have extensive experience and have done tons of implementations for both marketing automation and CRM, and currently serve about 500 clients so far. Okay, so we're known for our expertise and integrations that we built for Sugar CRM and have an in-house development staff to ensure that each integration we build is custom to your specific business and needs. Okay. So I'd like to go over today's agenda briefly. What we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and answer the question, what is marketing automation? Give a brief overview of that, and then I'm going to go ahead and dive into insurance industry specific best practices for driving and qualifying more leads. And then what we'll do is we'll take a look and dive straight into the Acton platform, taking a look at some of the highlights and show you how we can implement some of these best practices in the platform. And then we'll leave some time for questions and answers at the end. So what is marketing automation? Okay, just so that we're all on the same page, I want to talk for a minute in general about what it is, because I know sometimes it can seem like a vague concept that often gets lumped into this bucket of just email marketing. However, marketing automation is much more than just about sending emails. At its core, it's simply technology that's going to help streamline, automate, and measure marketing activities across different channels. Said another way, it's the engine that can ensure that the right message gets to the right person at the right time. When it's done right, it's going to drive key growth goals for your agency, whether that's building brand, generating more demand, or expanding those ever so important customer relationships with your policyholders. Okay, the value of getting the right message to the right person at the right time has proven to be of significant value. You're going to see huge increases in leads and conversions, as well as more aligned sales and marketing teams, and importantly, less customer churn from increased customer engagement, because we're communicating effectively and the right way at renewal time. And all of this is going to be designed to increase your new policies as well as your policy retention rate. Okay, but first, what we want to do is discuss this paradigm shift that we are starting to see with today's modern buyer's journey. Because with the evolution of technology, the access to information is unlimited, which means that our buyers' access to choice is unlimited. This is seen not only in the insurance and finance space, but across multiple industries and other services. So this has created a shift in marketing where consumers, not advertisers, define the groups they want to be a part of. People will self-select into an increasingly complicated network of segments and sub-segments. And on top of that, they rapidly move back and forth between those segments at their own discretion, putting them in control. Okay, in fact, 70% of the buying process is now complete by the time that a prospect is ready to engage with the sales team, according to SiriusDecisions, and sales and marketing leaders in the financial services and insurance space agree. So the goal is really to understand that the first 70% of the buying journey happens before the first sales contact, and we need to understand what that is so we can support that with content that's relevant. Okay, because in today's world, your buyers are in the driver's seat, but thankfully with this technology, we have a leg up because their digital body language gives us really good indicators of what they are interested in, how they want to interact with us, and ultimately what types of messages that they want to be served. Okay, they're craving this personalized experience that speaks to their needs throughout the buying cycle and even after they become customers as well. Okay, their buying cycle typically will follow the 4 stages that are seen on the screen. Okay, the first is going to be the discovery part. This is where they're introduced to your agency, or even the realization of their pain or need, as in I need to safeguard my family, limit my exposure to risk, and or comply with the law. Exploration is where they're conducting research, making their short list, and then engaging with the options to eventually make that purchase decision to buy. Okay, but what does this cycle look like for marketers? We need to make sure that we have engaging content prepared to help guide them through the cycle, and then make sure that there are touch points for them to engage with you to hopefully becoming a customer. So what we do is we start with attraction. Okay, very top of your funnel content, like any blogs you might post, anything you might do on social media, or even pay-per-click ads, we can assist and make recommendations on your current strategy. You can also attract with an outbound strategy using outreach calls and then effective email campaigns that will drive them to your brand and your websites. It's all about making sure that when they discover their problem and start to explore, that you are leaving them breadcrumbs to make sure that their exploration will lead to you and your agency. Once you have their attention, you need to make sure that you capture that, and you have call to actions or forms in place to capture that information so you can start a two-way conversation. Okay, we like to use this analogy of dating. You know, you want to make sure that you're working out, you've got a nice outfit, you're staying up to date on current events, basically doing anything to attract others to you. Okay, but if you're out at a bar and you see someone you're interested in and see them checking you out, you're going to have better luck if you engage them in a conversation. And that's what this capture phase is all about. So you can start a conversation and then begin to nurture that relationship. Okay, which eventually is going to lead to conversion to a customer, and then a marketer's role is never done, especially in the insurance world, because after they become a customer, you want to make sure that you're continuing that engagement post-sale to make sure that you're expanding that relationship, informing them about other services that you might offer, and then showing them the service that they need to drive retention rates when their policies are ready to expire. Okay. Again, these are all core key phases for the marketer, but the reality is that these paths are not going to be circular. Today's customer journey has been digitally disrupted, and marketers must adapt to this by engaging their buyer with the right content at the right time with many of these different channels. If we take a look at two prospects, for example, Ben and Beth, we can see that they both are going to start with a web search. Okay, but as you can see, they're going to take different paths before they eventually meet with a sales rep, covering multiple channels like webinars, any content that they've downloaded off of pages, as well as anything that they've done or seen on social media from research. As they continue to engage with your brand over time, they're going to become more educated and informed, making the direct interaction with sales even more valuable. Okay, the point is that marketers can no longer look at the customer journey as a linear path, but an ever-evolving path that is going to be unique to each individual, which is why automation is so critical, because you can use each of these behaviors as a trigger for automated email nurture paths. Think of it as being able to read someone's digital body language. So what once looked like something very complicated became very simple, the automation piece, when using technology to provide these personalized journeys at scale. Okay, so you can see we're in that nurture stage, and then now after they've gone through all of what they need to do before they meet with a sales rep, now we're going to start driving them towards that converting stage. Eventually they become a customer, and then now we can start communicating them and retaining them. So this is where marketing automation really comes into play, because it is the engine that will ensure that the right message gets to the right person at the right time. It helps you simplify these evolving journeys and then create automated paths, which makes it easier to scale your growth. Okay. It does take some preparation and planning, and here's an example of how a marketer would map the challenges of their target prospects to the different stages of their journey. We'll be sending you this deck, and if there's what this information can do is this can give you a framework for understanding where there might be leaks in your marketing funnels. I am happy to assist with that analysis as well. Okay, so now we're going to get into it. How insurance agencies drive more leads and qualify them with Act-On. Okay, so what we're going to do is cover some best practices. So let's look at some industry-specific ones. Okay, first thing you want to do is qualify effectively and drive more engagement is to understand what your buyers are looking for. Act On captures the actions your prospects and current customers take and gives you information regarding how they're interacting with your agency. This is a key step in being able to differentiate your communications and position your agency as a trusted advisor as opposed to a mere commodity. At the same time, you also want to understand who is not interacting with your brand so you can make sure that you're investing your time with prospects who not only have shown an interest in shopping for policies right now, but have also given you information about what coverage they are looking for. Secondly, you want to personalize your communications with highly targeted messages to set your agency apart. A simple way of doing this is by tailoring and changing your messages depending on what type of policy they're looking for, and to continue to send them relevant communication automatically to nurture these prospects down the buying funnel until they are ready to talk to an agent and purchase. Automating the qualification process ensures that your reps are having the most relevant conversations with the prospects you know are most ready to buy based on the data that Act On is collecting for you. Being relevant with your messaging will also increase your email open and click-through rates. Okay. A lot of insurance marketing and sales leaders tell me that a lot of their business comes from cross-selling and upselling current customers, and also ensuring that those customers are going to renew. In order to maximize and expand upsell and cross-sell opportunities, agency marketing teams focus on educating buyers about insurance products they might not know about that you offer. So Act On will give you the power to leverage the data sales gathers from site visits to create automated programs that will send these customers the information that they want to receive. Again, this all happens automatically, so you can ensure that everyone in your customer base will know all the value your agency has to offer. This is done using Act On's easy to use tools, dramatically reducing the time it takes to run and execute these campaigns. Okay, the last point is automating and maximizing the renewal process. Okay, what I've seen is you can send out automated messages periodically at renewal time, say at the 90-day, 60-day, and 30-day marks before policy expiration. This allows your customer to tell you that they're going to renew with minimal effort. The other important data point this process reveals is if they're not engaging with your renewal emails. You can understand who is not engaging, prioritize outreach to those clients, and then use that information to give your customers a call to discuss and see what's missing in order to retain their business. Okay, so I'm going to take a step back here and then briefly explain a little bit about lead nurturing. But what you need to know is that the result is nurtured leads make 47% larger purchases than non-nurtured leads. Okay, it's a type of drip marketing email program that will take undecided prospects along an educational path and will provide a reliable way to develop relationships with potential buyers. This will create a rhythm of contact and keep the line of communication open. Okay. So again, lead nurturing is an automated email program that encourages prospects to interact with your brand. And this is designed to engage your prospects with a series of messages, again, delivered at scheduled intervals. Okay, for example, if somebody's engaged with your website, you could continue to send them drip messaging based on the line of insurance that they were looking at, and then a time progression of how's your search going? Hey, did you know we also offer this, et cetera, et cetera. Another important feature of using this automated program is useful when you're onboarding. You can send them tailored, scheduled messaging about where to find policies, how to get help, and how to make a claim. Okay. These campaigns are going to be extremely useful to help shorten that buying cycle. And basically with lead nurturing, you're getting to know them and they're getting to know you. You're building trust and then giving them the information they need to move through the buying decision-making process and expand those relationships once they become a customer. Okay, so here it is an example of a few emails you might see in a nurture program. In this particular case, we're marketing to a marketing director. The messages have been tailored to speak to the needs and pain points of a marketing director. Whereas if we looked at a different type of persona, we might still be serving the same content, but the way we are speaking to it is different. Okay, so for example, the ebook shown here in email 2 is called The Business Case for Marketing Automation. And here are some examples of how we would personalize the content. For marketing director, we would say, learn how you can make the case about how marketing automation will help improve the efficiency of your team and improve your return on investment. Whereas if we were marketing to a director of demand generation, we would say something like, learn how you can make the case about how marketing automation will help generate more leads and improve the conversions in your funnel. See what we did here? It's the same content, but the message is personalized to the needs of the audience we are targeting with our nurture program. Okay, so here's an example of what it looks like and the reasoning behind it. And then what we'll do when we dive into the platform is I'll show you how easy it is to create this within the Act-On platform. Okay, so the example here is first we're going to send them an email, and then it's going to go ahead and drive the buyer down different paths depending on what actions they took automatically. So that way we're making sure that we're staying and communicating with relevant information all the way up until the point where they're ready to talk to an agent. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get right into the platform. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I'd like to do is start from the perspective of a prospective buyer. Okay, so let's say they're doing research for policies and then they come across your brand via social media post or an email that you had sent out, or they land on this landing page with a Google search. And all of these tools are tools that exist in Act-On to help you drive traffic to your website. Okay, so what's going to happen is they're going to find whatever information is going to be interesting to them, and they're going to get directed to this landing page. And this landing page on your website was also created within the Act-On platform. This particular page is going to provide information about a recent ebook for this agency, along with the gated content form to capture that information whenever they go ahead and download their content or raise their hand and say, yes, I would like a quote. Because you built the landing page in Act-On, you're going to be assured that your prospect is going to have a great experience, whether they're visiting from their desktop, their tablet. Okay, I can even preview to see what it would look like in landscape mode, or on their mobile device. Okay, again, this is responsive design and we support this right out of the box. Okay, these unique features, again, like responsive design, an out-of-the-box catalog of templates, built-in SEO recommendations, help companies see huge increases in their lead generation efforts, mostly coming from organic sources like Google searches and social media. Okay, so what happens is now they're going to go ahead and put their contact information in to get the information that they would like from you, and immediately that prospect's information gets captured into a contact group, or what we call a marketing list inside Act-On. And this is when your automation rules start kicking into place. Okay, dynamic segmentation is going to place the prospect into the right bucket according to persona criteria that you define, whether that's data brought in from the CRM that you might be using, any information that you captured via web form, or any behavioral insights that Act-On is tracking. Again, you can see here a segment for different products, okay? And in the insurance industry, I see a lot of segmenting by type of insurance line of business. So maybe you've got a product here for property and casualty, maybe you've got one for auto, and maybe you've got one for group health, group life. Okay, the point is that you can organize your entire database and segment from within this platform, saving you a lot of time and then leading to huge improvements in marketing efficiencies. Okay, now that this prospect or this person is in your marketing list, Act-On is automatically going to calculate their lead score based on custom scoring rules, again, that you've defined here. Okay, as you can see, you can have different sets of scoring rules, maybe one for new prospects. Also, you can have a different set of scoring rules for existing clients that you already have earned. Okay, scoring is going to give you insight into a prospect's level of engagement with your brand, what stage of the buying journey that they're actually in, and then will inform your automated programs what type of content will be most relevant to them. Okay, having advanced lead scoring capabilities is crucial to driving demand generation improvements, and it's going to create more opportunities because you're going to be able to understand how people are engaging and send them relevant content at the right time. Now we're going to move over and talk about automated programs. Okay, these programs are going to be driven from all of these points of data we were just looking at: lead attributes, account information, any behavioral interactions that prospects or customers are taking, Okay, contacts from new customers can easily be entered into education and marketing programs. Okay, and new leads get entered into the top of your funnel, so then that way you can continue to send them educational material to help them in their insurance or in their research and progress them on the buying journey. Okay, once they're entered into the appropriate program, you can decide the cadence for when they receive additional content and then what content you want them to receive. Okay, you can even use things like conditional branching, and again, the interface is all drag and drop, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the mouse over here on the right hand side, drop it in, and I can use these things like conditional branching to understand and send them down a different path depending on how they interacted with the initial piece of content that I send them. Okay, branching is going to help you send the right messaging to the right person, and then Act-On also has early exit conditions built in to make sure that a prospect is going to be removed from this particular program when it's no longer relevant for them. At that point, you can either put them into a more relevant automated program or take them out of the database entirely, ensuring that the database that you have is clean and you're not spending your entire time there, making sure that you know that the people in your database are people that are interested in talking. Okay, but when this lead is now going to be deemed qualified via your scoring rules, okay, that's when we can push this lead to a CRM that you might be using and add a task for the sales rep to follow up. Now, I want to stop here and take a brief note that we integrate with many CRMs, and I know that the insurance business or the insurance agencies, you guys have a lot of proprietary programs, and this is Faye's wheelhouse. So a lot of what we can do is understand what programs you're using now, and then we can understand the business need behind it, and then help make suggestions and help you integrate those programs accordingly with you know, any of the other systems, including marketing automation. Okay, so let's just say the example that I'm going to use here is Sugar CRM. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and once this prospect has gone through this automated program, we've scored them and now they're hot and now they're qualified. I can go ahead and even add an extra step, not an extra step, but I can add a step to create a record and a task directly in the CRM from the automated program. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. So now I'm going to be in Sugar. Okay, 1 second while I get back in. Okay, all right, sorry about that. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like in Sugar. Okay, you can see that Act-On is capturing all of the people that have been engaged with our brand the most within a predetermined amount of time. So now as an agent, I can understand who to prioritize my calls with first. This is going to help drive down cost per dial and then also help your reps without ever having to leave the system of record that they use for your prospects to prioritize who they're going to call first. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click on a lead. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring me that contact record. And now I can go ahead and take a look at all of the Act-On activity history that's being captured. Okay, I can go directly to this lead record. And it's easily accessible again to the salesperson. They never have to leave the CRM that they're working within. I can view their lead scores and activities such as form submits and email sends. Okay. When the rep is ready to contact this person, I can go ahead and take a look at their activity history directly from the CRM, and now I can understand their engagement and interaction with us to date and make sure that they can lead an informed conversation whenever I pick up the phone to reach out and engage. Okay. In addition to understanding how buyers are engaging, I can also go ahead and take a look at a timeline to go ahead and take a look at that. And I can also go ahead and send emails straight out of the CRM that is from the rep themselves, and then also have access to templates that marketing designs, so that way they're not having to rewrite, you know, the same email over and over and over again. Okay, this is going to create more alignment between the sales and marketing teams and creates an automatic handoff that all occurs behind the scenes. So you know, as soon as a prospect is ready to buy and doing all of this research, that you're ensured that your agency reaches out to them first. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a step back, and we're going to show you some of the reports that are out of the box with the Act-On platform. One of the things that we can help you do is really understand what's working and what's not working. It's never been more critical for marketing to quantify the results of your team efforts, so then that way we can understand where our dollars are best invested. Okay, this is include these out-of-the-box reports, as well as more custom reporting tools to meet all of your needs. But we're going to take a look at this one example, which is a marketing funnel report. This is really meant to help you monitor the success of your ongoing demand generation programs and campaigns by tracking where your leads are sitting in the funnel, the average velocity, the number of days from moving to each stage, and you can even compare this information against different time periods. Okay, maybe see how we're doing, you know, Q4 versus Q1. Really start to understand all of the results from your marketing campaigns. So as you run these different programs and campaigns, you can see what's contributing to movement through the funnel and where leads are getting stuck to identify areas of improvement. Okay, next report that I'm going to go over, again, this is going to be out of the box, is our email messaging reports. Again, you want to see what is going to be working and what's not, and at a glance, I can start to see what the results are of the email campaigns that I'm running. Again, over periods of time. And again, suppose I want to say of the number of emails that I'm sending, how many people are actually opening those, and then how many emails are clicking through. Okay, it's also going to provide you daily as well as monthly stats. Okay, and again, it's out of the box. Okay, so that's a quick overview highlights of the platform overview of how agencies or insurance agencies have used Act-On. Again, there's a lot of different ways or a lot more tools in here that we can use depending on where you want to focus your marketing efforts, whether that's increasing more brand recognition, driving more demand, or expanding the current customer relationships that you have. So I'll be happy to help you analyze what you are currently doing and also you know, provide recommendations based on that. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to questions at this point.
Thanks, Paul. We don't have any questions right now, but if anyone does have any questions that they can think of after the webinar, feel free to let me know or Paul, and we can get those answered directly. Paul, I got a lot of background noise here, so I'm going to go back on mute. I'm sorry about that. Why don't you close it up?
Okay, no problem. All right. Yeah, you know, again, to echo what Jesse said, yeah, we will be sending you the information. You know, feel free to reach out to me if you have any further questions. And I'm going to go ahead and